Welcome to Inside Design with Kandrak and Cole, hosted by two nationally published Atlanta interior designers, Joann Kandrak and Kelly Cole. These energetic women are also world travelers, charity givers, and bloggers with a wealth of information to share and stories to tell about the interior design world. Okay, now just a warning, this is going to be fun and not too serious. After all, they still do have an interior design business running at full speed.
Welcome, everyone. It's Inside Design with Kandrak and Cole, episode 7, and today we're going to be talking about design challenges. So every design project has a challenge, or sometimes several. Some are fun and challenging to deal with, and then some are not so fun. But in the end, we're always learning, even after all these years.
That's true.
Some challenges are presented by the client, and then some are just inherent to the project and the reason why we're even being hired. And so we thought we would give you a little insight to our world and a little inside scoop.
Yeah. So, hey everybody, this is Kelly. Let's talk about design challenge number 1, the dreaded recliner. So we walk into a house and we're getting the lay of the land and we're chit-chatting normally with the female of the house. And so she introduces, let's say we walk into the family room and she says, "Oh, I'm just so excited for you guys to completely redesign this whole room. Nothing needs to stay. I'm not attached to anything, but my husband's recliner, that burgundy one that's there, that's
With the big fat puffy arms.
That's kind of faded and cracked. That's got to stay in the design." Wah, wah, wah. So we become therapists and politically correct professionals, and we have to go into the whole conversation about why that particular recliner can't stay.
And then there's so many new recliner options out there. I mean,
they're beautiful.
They don't even look like recliners.
Yeah, some are motorized. All the big levers and stuff are all hidden.
Yeah.
They're straight line. They don't have those big Archie bunker. That's what we were trying to think. Archie bunker kind of look. So,
and even sofas come with dual recliners, so it doesn't have to be,
Remember that one sofa that we found for that lady? She loved purple. Not the other purple lady that we talked about in the other show, but they had to have dual recliners, she and her husband, and they had to be motorized. Mm-hmm. And remember, we found it was the prettiest, like, eggplant purple leather I've ever seen in my life. Yeah. Remember that?
You would never have known.
No,
it was a
you would have
recliner.
never known.
It was great.
Yep. And then the other challenge that comes with the dreaded recliner is
the TV placement.
Designer challenge number 2.
For most of the men, it really is all about the TV.
Sorry, guys, we love you,
so
but
important to them, and so they think the seating plan has to be where everybody faces the TV.
Like every single chair, bench, ottoman in the whole entire room,
and then
has to face the TV.
The challenge is the TV above the fireplace or not above the fireplace.
Yep.
And we really try to make it be above the fireplace if it's low enough.
I know. Well, the first conversation we have, again, we're therapists and so forth, is not every single person in the room has to see the TV. It's totally fine. So that's, if you have a proper symmetrical space plan that works in the room, then there's always going to be one person, and maybe two, that can't see the TV. But that's okay if you have enough seating and you've worked it well.
Oh, you can do the swivel chairs.
We do a lot of swivels.
Swivel chairs.
A ton of swivels.
Make a huge difference.
Yep. But we do have that problem, and I'm sure everybody listening out here is going, my mantle's way too high. I'm not putting, and then what do I do with my components and that kind of thing. But we redo a lot of mantles. It's not a big ticket item to lower the mantle, change it up. Usually the surround is something builder blah anyway. And then these days with flat screen TVs, and really you might have an Apple TV, you might have whatever, but everything can really go behind the TV. So you don't need a big media console anymore. So there's some misconceptions about that, but the TV placement, we've had a few clients that are like, we have family TV watching time in the basement, and we don't watch TV upstairs. We're like, hallelujah, love it, thank you. You mean you read books and you talk to each other? That's fantastic. Yeah.
Okay, design challenge number 3, to paint or not to paint. We talked a little bit about this last week. To paint or not to paint the paneling.
Yes. Wood paneling.
The fireplace.
Or brick in general.
Or just wood.
Yeah.
Like stained wood.
Yeah. Oh, gosh. Again, we're not male bashing because we really love men. But
this is what it is for them.
Yeah.
This is their top 3.
Yeah.
Recliner, TV, don't paint wood.
Yeah. Every time. Mm-hmm.
But, if you've got, like my family room, had some beautiful wood stained. It was, the wainscoting and all the trim. And it looked like it should be in the mountains. I mean, it was just dark.
It was dark, yeah.
Painted that a creamy white. Oh, my God. It, brought it to the 21st century. I mean, it just makes such a difference. But
and the walls are still really interesting because that paneling is nice.
Yeah, or even, paneling.
Or brick.
Even the old... queer paneling looks really good painted.
But we have to, what we have to do in that case is really show our clients a lot of visuals. So we pull out our portfolio, we pull out Houzz, we pull out Pinterest, and show before and afters of what that looks like. And then they generally calm down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Such a transformation.
Yeah. All right, design challenge number 4. Joann's one of her
The budget
faves.
Or lack thereof.
Oh, boy.
So... I have to say HGTV and some of the home improvement shows have not really portrayed a good
They flat out haven't.
budget scenario.
No.
Like, people don't really realize that these shows are either having things donated or the labor isn't costing anything. So unless people have done research ahead of time, they don't really understand what things cost.
No, and our clients always say that to us when we say, well, we try not to use the word budget. We try and say, well, what's your investment you're willing to, to outlay for these improvements that you've just told us that you want? And seriously, 9 times out of 10, they say, well, we really don't know what things cost. Okay, well, can we spend, is a $500,000 good? Oh God. Oh no. Okay. All right. So then house is 300,000 in your wheelhouse? I mean, is that, oh God, no. Okay. So you do have a budget. You just might not want to say it, but we really encourage our clients, do it right or don't do it at all.
In the world of Google and Alexa, I mean, you really can ask the question, what can I expect to pay for a kitchen remodel? And there are some great blogs out there.
Yes, they're a great resource.
And, they'll talk about, well, if you just want to, redo a backsplash and flooring, it'll be about this. If you're, if you're keeping the footprint and not moving any plumbing, it should be about this. If you're completely taking out all the cabinets, it'll be this. So do a little bit of research because money's a hot topic.
And it's always going to cost more than you think it will. Yeah. That even happens to us, and we kind of know what things cost. So
another thing we try to tell people is they have a certain amount of money and they want to, well, let's do this in the family. Let's just kind of change this. And when they sprinkle just a little bit into every room, you don't really get do one room at a time and do it 100%. Yeah. I love it.
And thankfully, we have Amy in our office who does an amazing job. She qualifies all of our prospective clients before we even meet them to make sure they're even a right fit. But you wouldn't believe the amount of people that call and say, oh, yes, I'm so excited. I want to do XYZ, da-da-da-da-da-da. And then their budget, or they say, well, I've got about $5,000 to spend. I'm so sorry. We're not the right fit for you. It's just not realistic. So do a little research. That's all we're saying. All right, design challenge number 5.
This has been an interesting one. We've got some good stories about these, but the husband and wives who are not on the same page. There's a lot of them. Whether it not necessarily maybe just design style, but sometimes you'll have the man who likes a little bit more of a contemporary look, and she wants something a little more traditional. There's that challenge, but then there's the money challenge. Some might think investing in one thing is better than another. There might be, the man who thinks the cars are more important, and the woman thinks wallpaper, and he doesn't want to pay for wallpaper. So that becomes a very touchy subject. We have
well, what gets me even, I mean, those are totally legit, and that happens all the time. But what gets me the most that what we've had to witness is the relationship between the husband and wife sometimes is so disrespectful, and one's talking down to the other, and one's trying to say what they want, and the other one just like shuts it down or poo-poos it, or it's just awful.
Kelly and I are looking at each other going, oh my God, they're going to have a huge fight like right here.
Yeah. I mean, I go home and I tell my husband, oh my God, thank you, honey, for never talking to me that way. I just can't.
Well,
it's terrible.
The other thing too is this comes back to the budget thing. We have a client who we worked with for several years, and
this is funny.
We didn't know about this till many years later, but she always kind of had to, do the massaging with the husband of, I want to do this room. The daughter's, wedding's coming up. All these people are going to be at our house. We need to do this. And so she finally told us that what she would do is she would create her own Excel spreadsheet where she would use the Candrock & Cole logo. She would put our logo on the top, and then she would change the prices something that he could swallow. Like he would think spending, $1,500 for a sofa was a lot. So she would put a number in there that she thought he could handle, and then she would tell him, okay, this is what it's going to cost for that, and he'd be like, okay. But then on the side, she's squirreling away money. Get this wad of cash, and then meets us in the parking lot with this big fat wad of cash, saying, "Okay, here's the rest of this."
She did it twice.
Yeah, she did it twice.
And her house is beautiful. I don't know how her husband thought he was getting all that for what she told him it was going to be.
She just, she had to work it. She
had
to,
God.
So there you go, people. We told you.
Crazy.
We told you this is crazy.
Okay. See, you thought our job was just easy. Like we go out and we spend people's money and it's
things.
shop, and it's so fun. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't have a degree in psychology, but I should. Yeah. I basically do. Okay, next one.
Okay.
Oh God.
Number 6.
This is the one that puts me over the edge.
Kelly's favorite.
I can't take it.
The clients who are slobs.
Oh, it's unbelievable. We're coming. We've had an appointment on the books for a month. You're going to show us every nook and cranny of your house. Yet the underwear's on the floor.
Bed's not made.
I won't even talk about what's in the bathroom. There's crap all over the kitchen. I just can't take it.
Yeah. So it kind of makes you wonder, why are you hiring an interior designer? You want to totally redo your kitchen. You want this gorgeous countertop, which no one will be able to see because there's a minimum of 300 vitamin bottles.
And we have seen that.
Yes. And there's papers everywhere. And it's just like the clutter is
it's out of control.
So out of control that you can't even you wouldn't be able to see the beautiful furnishings.
So then what that turns into for us is, and we do this all the time, is, we know that when we walk out of an install, the rooms that we just installed are going to be spotless, beautiful, incredible, but they're not going to stay that way for these particular clients.
We hope so.
I know, but they don't. I can name a few, but I won't. So we end up finding, really making sure that everything we select, the end tables have drawers. Maybe the coffee table has a bottom layer for magazines or blankets, performance fabrics on everything. I mean, we really have to acknowledge the fact that even though they are hiring us and paying all this money, sadly, they're just not clean, clutter-free people.
Yeah.
So we try and help them as much as we can, but
it's just kind of a matter of having some pride in what you have. If you're going to invest in these items, let's try to keep them in good shape. It's like, to me, investing like in a Lexus, but never taking it to the car wash, never getting the oil change.
I know. I just don't get it.
Yeah,
we see it all the time.
See it all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
No, this is Joann's favorite design challenge number 7. The animals.
The animals. I'm allergic to cats really bad, and most dogs that shed. So when we're going to a house for the very first time and we ring the doorbell, I'm just waiting for the bark.
Ruff, 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 ruff. Joann's like, oh man.
And then I can tell by the bark whether it's a big dog or a small. If it's a little yappy one, I'm probably not going to be allergic to it.
Now me, I'll be down on the ground in like 3 seconds, like
petting.
Come play with me. And Joann's like, oh God.
And then
I look
like the terrible. But along with these animals comes some issues, some challenges for the animals that sort of run the house and base the decisions on, we can't replace that. We want to redo our family room, but we can't replace the carpet right now. We have to wait for, Fluffy to die.
Yeah. Or how about the at the house that we recently went into, and they had a dog who was not really a puppy anymore. He was under a year old. They literally had pushed all the furniture to the walls, and there was a playpen in the middle of the room. Okay. And I thought, and it was clear that it stays like that. Yeah. And I'm thinking, oh my God.
Hey, to each their own. But
I know. I mean, but I just, but you're hiring us.
Yeah, you're hiring us to come in and.
So that becomes quite a challenge. Of course, we're very cognizant of, really everybody has animals, and so those performance fabrics that we keep talking about kick in, or
and, try to do things to help. Like I love, there's a kitchen cabinet company that has the pull out where you put the dog food and you can push it back in. It works right into the cabinets. I mean, there's great ways to design with animals.
We've done benches or moving ottomans so that the dog or cat can sit in front of the window.
Yes.
So we're always, we always make room for the dog bed.
Yeah.
That's an important one. But it's really the houses where the animals are in charge, not the owners.
Okay, you want to tell them the story?
My God. Okay, this is
we
just
said that if we had ever written a book.
Oh yeah, which we will one day.
On the most horrific, traumatic moments of our career, this would be in chapter 1.
Okay, so we're at this lady's house, and again, totally unaware of how her house looks to us walking in, but okay, whatever. We're walking upstairs. The client's in front. I'm second. Joann's coming up the rear. So all of a sudden, and the client goes, oh, sorry. And she just literally doesn't skip a beat, keeps on walking right in front of me. The next step I'm going to step on is a big pile of dog throw up. She did not blink an eye. I mean, she just kept on. Meanwhile, I'm like, oh my God! And Joann's like, kunk, like behind me, like running into me. Now, I mean, I can kind of deal with this a little bit more. I've got 2 dogs and 2 cats. Joann was like, like I am out of here. I am done.
I was mortified.
But the client just kept on walking like, I'll get to that. Sorry. Oh, God. It was so bad. Okay. Enough with the animals. Design challenge number 8.
Incorrect scale.
Mm-hmm.
This is
what provides us with a job.
Yeah, I mean, you can't. People don't always necessarily understand, but we'll walk into a house and there might be a few pieces of art that are up that make no sense, and we'll go, so what? What's the story here? And they'll be like, oh well, that those are the nails that were in there from the previous decided to hang a couple things up. So they did, yeah. So they just don't know.
Is definitely a skill that you would hire a designer for, because we really get it right. Everything is bigger, better placed, but and you would think it would be a kind of a natural thing, like you're looking at a whole wall and you see this one little picture and it's hung like 7 feet up from the floor, and you think, do they really think that is right? Or maybe they just don't care. I don't know. But so scale is another one. So,
okay.
Another one of Joann's favorite.
Design challenge number 9. Seriously, there are some people who are forever haunted by wallpaper.
Oh, God, it's endless.
Well, it's because their builder, probably never primed correctly. It took them 3 days to remove it.
Yes.
They had to, rent the steamer and tried all these things. But it
was Granny's ivy and berries.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, they're forever haunted. Like, they can't get it out of their heads. And so they think that, like, wallpaper is going to hurt for resale because people are going to be, like them and see wallpaper as not being able to take it down. But it's so in right now.
Oh, gosh, people, wallpaper someplace of your house.
Yeah.
Start with the powder room. It's the best place. And then move to the laundry room. I love a dining room.
Dining rooms, too.
Yeah,
dining rooms, too, we like. Yeah. So there you have that one.
Okay, and real quick, our very last challenge, past memories.
Oh.
I mean, and this is one of those, we have to be psychologists and therapists again, but we have to honor the past memories of, like for my mom, my grandmother's used to paint her whole house in this like mint green. It wasn't even like seafoam. It was this mint green. And she cannot even, like, this color cannot be anywhere near my mom. Yeah. Like, she just doesn't like it.
Yeah. Or there could be a piece of furniture, a style of something where someone will say, that reminds me of, my aunt Heidi, who was real mean to us when we were little.
Yeah, and she had a chair like that.
She had a chair like that, and I just can't. Or
how about the lady with the birds? Terrified of birds. She didn't like their eyes. So no birds in fabric, no birds in wallpaper, no birds in art, no birds.
Yeah. So past memories, can really traumatize people.
And so we got to do a lot of probing, because there's been times when, how about the lady that didn't like blue and green?
Yeah.
I'm like, do you step outside? This is the grass and sky? What do you want me to do with this? So, yeah.
So that's,
anyway,
these are the challenges, people.
These are the challenges, but it's all good. It's all good. It's about designing for that perfect design for that perfect client so that they'll love it. But it's not always
But so we're gonna give our quote here in a minute. But it reminds me of a client who had us to her house and said that she had not entertained or had people over for the last several years because she was embarrassed about her house. And
so
it wasn't terrible. I mean, it was clean. It was dated, but she just didn't feel comfortable inviting people over, and that just made me feel like, wow, this is your house. Time's flying by. You have to take the time and open up your home to family and friends and enjoy it. So here's the quote. Great homes have never been much about the architecture or the furniture. It's about who's in it and how you live. The people at your dinner table, the friends on your sofa. Great things are just not enough. It's how you activate them and bring them to life that is the most important thing. That's by author and stylist Megan Morton. I love that. It's so true.
And we'll always talk about on our shows the power of home and the importance of home and the importance of that home feeling really good for you. And most people, aren't totally content with an empty home that's not comfortable and not beautiful and not practical. So, that's where we kind of come in and make that a priority for people.
The beauty and comfort is great, but someone's going to want, they'll remember how they felt at your house. It's like a wedding. People spend a lot of time on the flowers that are on the table. I seriously could not tell you what flowers were on the last 2 weddings I went to, but I will tell you the band was amazing.
The conversations you had.
Yeah, the conversations we had, the dancing, that was so great. And don't get me wrong, it needs to be beautiful, but you need to activate those things.
Yes, that's a very good point. So next week, we are going to talk about something totally different, and we're going to talk about the various charities that we are involved with and what that kind of does for us in our life at Candrack & Cole.
Completely different kind of homes.
Yeah. We work for an organization called Dwell with Dignity that's based out of Dallas, where we go and we design homes, generally apartments, for moms and their kids who are recently homeless. And it's one of the most exciting things we do.
They have an Atlanta chapter, so we were part of the very first one of that.
And we're going to do another one coming up. And then in June, we head off to Guatemala for trip number, I can't even tell, 10, 11, where we build homes for the poorest of the poor.
And we'll give you all the details on that.
So we're gonna talk about that. It really helps us stay balanced, help us keep our heads on straight, and
do some good for other people.
Yeah. So we need to go because Joann has wrangled us into this latest adventure where we, at 11 o'clock, we have to Skype with this casting company out of California who wants to do a reality docuseries on interior designers in Atlanta, and they reached out to us, and of course I deleted it, and Joann was like, check this out. I think we should kind of talk to them.
Let's check it out. Hey, the power of yes.
I know, but we're so busy. So anyway, we have to go put our lipstick on and look really good because the producers want to talk to us, and we'll let you know how this all transpires. So
thanks again for listening, and we hope you have a great week, and we'll talk to you next time.
Thanks. Bye, everybody.
Join Joann and Kelly weekly for a lively conversation about trends, travels to industry events, current design projects, the good, the bad, and the ugly, do's and don'ts, product recommendations, and more. Be sure to follow the fun on Facebook. They're on Instagram at Candrack Cole, and of course, you've got to visit them online at candrack-cole.com for more information.